Hi, everybody. I would like to just sit and talk today. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be straightforward. And I'm not going to speak from a script. I'm just going to talk. So if I say, if I pause, all that, just know that I'm speaking from the heart and I don't have any agenda today or anything like that. So what I'd like to talk to you about today is the Unfireables. Um, when I started out when I started out the community over 40 and unemployed, I felt betrayed from the job market. I felt like the job market had nothing left for me. I felt like I couldn't go back there because it had done so many things to me that were irreversible that I couldn't remove myself from the hurt that I was feeling, that I had spent my whole life building up my career and everything only to be denied because I'm a little bit older. Maybe because I'm a little too experienced, maybe because my hourly rate is a little bit higher, but nobody was hiring me. Um, for that matter, nobody was even hiring me to be a freelancer anymore, a ghostwriter, anything like that. I was running out of options. So instead of being selfish, instead of starting a GoFundMe or something like that, I instead decided I was gonna take this opportunity and help people. I had a little bit of freelance work that was keeping me going and things like that. I grabbed onto that and I said, okay, with the time that I have left, I'm going to help people. And that's what I did. I started out the community over 40 and unemployed. I started building it. I was posting on LinkedIn about my struggles with the job market and where the job market was going. I talked about AI. I talked about all the things that are affecting people trying to get jobs nowadays, trying to go back to the job market after being laid off. All these companies are laying everybody off, and there's just nothing out there for us anymore. So I started talking about that. People responded. I guess they found me relatable. I I'm so grateful for that. That people really connected with the message that I was putting across. So I daily I would go out there and I would spread my message across LinkedIn. I was writing on Medium. I was writing articles about my struggles and about others' struggles, about what was going on in my family life during this time, everything. I was writing all about this, and people were relating to it. People were coming to the community. The community grew really fast. And it just so happened that a couple of the articles that I wrote went viral. And when they did, a lot of people joined the community. After a while, I thought, why not take my experience writing for Medium and Substack and turn that into a course that I could teach to people so they could potentially make some money? Because one thing I had done in November and December of 2025 is I wrote a lot on Medium almost every day, and I was making very good money in the thousands. And I thought, well, I could teach other people to do this because I had things that I did that like writing for the audience and engaging with people that helped me to get to that point where I was making quite a bit of money and things like that. And even though in January, February, March, and April, my stats dramatically dropped off because Medium changed their algorithm, it I still had a way to teach people how they could make a little bit of money on Medium. And if they couldn't make money, they could actually build an audience. With that audience, you could take it to Substack and you could monetize it there. So there was many things you could do with that. And I wanted to teach people that. So I started the course. From there, I said, a lot of what people are doing is they're leaving the job market and starting businesses. And what it takes to do that is you got to change your mindset. You got to change from that employee mindset to the boss mind. I call it the boss mindset. You're no longer relying on an employer to give you a paycheck, to give you benefits, to give you all of that comfort that you had before. Now you're doing it for yourself. You're making the decisions. You are bringing in the money. So I wanted to teach people to change the mindset so they could develop streams, multiple streams of income. And that's why I created the Great Pivot. And the Great Pivot is basically a mindset. It messes with your mind. It changes the way you think about making money, so that depending on either if you're going to go back to the job market, or if you're going to start a business or a consulting service or content creation or anything, an Etsy shop, whatever you want to do, you have to change your mindset, because you're no longer relying on an employer, and you're no longer worried that HR can come along and fire you for no reason. So that's what I did with the Great Pivot. Right around this time, I was working 17-hour days. I was trying to keep these communities alive. I had 3 communities. I had the 2 courses. I was trying to do all this myself, and I couldn't manage to do it all. I was worried because in the future I wanted to scale up. And what if all of a sudden 1,000 people joined? How would I manage that? How would I manage all the weekly coaching? How would I manage all the one-on-one coaching? How would I manage building the courses and things that people needed? I couldn't do it myself. Around that time, I had a member of the Great Pivot named Craig Bachman, who came along and he said, Jason, he goes, I have a set of skills that might be useful to you, and I want to pay it forward. I want to help you in your mission to help people. And he had all these frameworks and everything, lean business canvas and everything he had learned from like Alex Osterwalder and all these people that had taught him, how to build businesses, how to set up businesses, how to create business plans, things like that, how to use critical thinking to help you make your decisions, how to craft a value proposition, things like that, things I didn't know, how to scale. That was the most important thing. He said, you know what? He said, you're only one person, and what we need is more Jasons. So what we did after talking for many weeks, we decided we were going to partner up. And he joined me, and he brought all his frameworks with him, and he brought all his experience with him. And that took me to a place where I no longer had to work 17-hour days. I had a partner to rely on. I no longer had to work weekends. I could if I wanted to, but if I didn't want to, like this past weekend, I didn't. I didn't, because Craig was there helping me. He was helping me coach. He was helping me do the things that needed to get done in the community. We also started realizing that if we did want to scale up to more people, we were going to have to set some things up in the business. Things that I came up with the ideas. I had great ideas, but my implementation was faulty. And he's been helping me fix that. Now, next week, we're meeting in Phoenix, and we're going to spend 3 days going through and defining the core values of the company. We're going to be setting up the foundation and setting up everything, the lean business canvas, everything that we need to set this business up right and be able to scale. We're going to set up our systems. We're going to set up how the courses run, how the operations manuals and things like that. We're going to set up everything. Branding, we're going to talk about branding and everything, because something exciting is coming up. I decided I wanted everything that I'm doing to fit in to an envelope. And the overall envelope that I put everything in is called Unfireables. Came up with that. I thought, what a great way to describe what we're doing for people here. We're taking them from a place where they have to worry about if they're going to get fired or they're going to have a job next week, to a place where they can't be fired. They're their own boss. They're the ones making the decisions. So I set that up. So what we're doing is we're moving to a new platform. Right now I'm on School. And there's some problems with School. It's a little simplified. There's some things that I want that School doesn't offer. So we're actually going to move to a different platform. When we do, we're going to set up the framework of Unfireables. All those things that you saw in before are going to become all one piece, all of the Unfireables. The free group over 40 and unemployed is going to be Unfireables. The what used to be called Medium Mastery and Substack Mastery is now called online content mastery. That's going to be folded into it. That's going to be part of it. The Great Pivot is also the mindset stuff's all going to be part of it. It's all going to be one thing. I mean, it's easy for branding that way. You know, we can brand it one way. We don't have all these communities where people are getting confused. What's what? Who? It's all one piece. We're going to be setting all that up in the next few weeks, the next few months. As we do that, it's going to be easier for you to interact with us. There's going to be more community. There's going to be chat. There's going to be video chat. There's going to be different things within the community that's going to help you interact with these courses and learn more. And if you want to go back to the job market, we're going to help you go back to the job market. If you want to start a business or a consulting practice, or you want to start in content creation, you want to start an Etsy shop and sell your jewelry or your t-shirts, we can help you do that. That is what we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be setting all that up. So that's available for you. And we're going to let you know when all this is happening. We're going to tell you, okay, guys, we're going to have a webinar. We're going to say, this is what's happening. Starting tomorrow, you're going to go to this link. You're going to sign up. And it's going to be as seamless as a process as possible. So that's what we're going to do. And that's what me and Craig are going to be setting up next week. So what's the future? Well, the future is very bright because I see us being able to scale. I see us, right now we're at 1,000 members. I see us being able to go to 10,000 members, 20,000 members, 100,000 members, 1,000,000 members. I mean, pie in the sky, but it could happen. We can scale to that now because we're planning for it. We're setting up systems in place that we can use to make sure things are automated, to make sure things run smoothly within the community. Right now, and yeah, and I will say one of the things that bring people to me is I'm a little rough around the edges. Things are rough around the edges. I make mistakes and things like that. People like that. But we're going to try to make it a little more seamless for you so that you don't have to put so much effort to learn the things we're trying to teach you. There's a lot of information there, and there's so much we want to teach you, and we want to make that process seamless. We want to be able to make you interact with the other members of the community like a family, not just islands within a team that everybody's doing their own thing. We want everybody to come together, to be able to support each other, to be able to, if you have a friend who's a web designer and you need a website, they can build your website. Maybe you barter for it. Maybe you say, hey, I'll do this for you if you build me a website. We want it to be like a family, like a community, that where we all know what each other does and what each other is doing. We celebrate each other's wins. We celebrate each other's failures and help them to pivot. That's what we want to do. That's what this is going to. And even when we do scale to 10,000 members and 100,000 members, we still want it to be one big happy family. And we're going to do that by hiring more coaches. We're going to do that by hiring more strategists. We're going to do that by hiring more community admins, people to help us dictate how the direction of the communities and things like that. You have been telling us. We've been having one-on-ones with you. We've been sending out emails to you, trying to get your feedback and finding out exactly what you want from the community. and we're going to start giving that to you. Because now I have help. I have a partner that's there to help me through that. We're going to have other people joining us as we grow that are going to help us get to where we need to be. And that's where we're going with the Unfireables. And I just wanted to sit down today and talk to you and tell you what direction we're taking. The future's bright, folks. Those of you that are founding members of the community, the first 1,000 members of the community, we're going to give you some great free gifts for joining the community, for joining the Unfireables. Because right now you're not a member of the Unfireables, but you will be. And we'll see to that. We'll make it as seamless as possible. So that's all I wanted to say today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. You have any questions, go to the community. Start a thread. Tag me, Jason Wieland. Can you answer this question for me? I'd be glad to do it. So if there's anything that we can do to you, either Craig or I, please go to the community and ask us. Find me on LinkedIn, find me on Medium, find me on YouTube. All these different places you can contact me, and I'll get back to you. I'll respond because I am in the community too, and I want to support you as much as I can. So that's all I have to say. I thank you for sitting here listening to me. I've almost spoken for 17 minutes, and you guys sat through the whole thing. So I thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.